Arrested. The principal was charged with failing to report abuse and other alleged crimes against juveniles.
Now, this comes after a teacher at the same school was arrested for alleged sex crimes with a student. WBTV's Claire Kopsky has been digging into this and has more from Concord Lake STEAM Academy.
Well, it's disturbing and also concerning because the personnel who have been charged are teachers and a principal at this kindergarten through 8th grade school. Now, it is important to note that Kannapolis Police have confirmed that even though the principal and the teachers share the same last name, they are not related. Wednesday morning, parents at Concord Lake STEAM Academy received an email from the school charter state director that explained their principal, Kendra Woods, had been arrested. The email stated that she was, quote, arrested in relation to an ongoing investigation associated with a former employee. Kannapolis Police confirmed that former employee was 23-year-old Tyler Woods, a former teacher at the school. Arrest records show he was charged with 3 counts of indecent liberties with a child, disseminating obscenity to a minor, and permitting a minor to assist in obscenity back in October. On October 11th, parents received an email from Principal Woods alerting them that the former employee had been arrested, saying that their highest priority is the safety of their students and that they, quote, do not tolerate any level of inappropriate behaviors. They said upon learning about the, quote, allegations of inappropriate communications, they removed the individual from campus. However, according to Principal Woods' arrest report, she was taken into custody Tuesday for failing to report the abuse of a child who was only 14 years old. As we've worked to learn more about what happened, we requested personnel information from Concord Lake STEAM Academy. According to North Carolina law, some personnel information is required to be maintained and made public. After multiple attempts to acquire that information from the school's public relation firm, we went to the school where it's required to be kept. However, no one answered the door, and the doors were locked. There are still a lot of unanswered questions in this case. Principal Kendra Woods was arrested on Tuesday, but she was released later in the day on an unsecured bond. Former teacher Tyler Woods was arrested back in October, but also bonded out back in October. There is much more to come on this case, and we will, of course, bring you those updates on air and online. In Kannapolis, I'm Claire Kopsky, WBTV, on your side.